This is not a story I heard. I was there. I saw it happen. My name is Toby. I was just a young maiden back then, one of the lowest in the palace. But I saw it with my own eyes. Her name was Adesewa. She came to the palace at 16 years of age. One of the maidens brought in from the village to serve in the queen's court. Not royal blood. Just a smart girl with sharp eyes and quiet steps. People called her the mouse because she moved without a sound. But Adesewa had something most people missed, the king's attention, King Obiola. At first, we all thought it was just a small interest. The king was old and had many wives. What would he want with a poor maiden? But slowly, things started to change. The Queen Kudrat stopped smiling around her. Other maidens gave her side eyes. Even the servants whispered. Then the queen's brother, Chief Adewumi, started asking questions about her family, her past, her movements. One night, someone said they saw Adesewa and the king walking alone near the sacred pond. That was the final straw. 3 days later, the queen accused her of witchcraft. She said Adesewa had poisoned the king's mind, made him forget his duties, his wives, even his gods. She said Adesewa had used her blood to cast spells and was planning to kill the queen. They arrested her that same night. I remember how quiet she was as they dragged her through the palace. She didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just looked straight ahead. Some said she admitted it. Some said she cursed everyone before they took her. But I was there looking in pity when they carried her into the forest, tied like an animal. They buried her under the old Iroko tree. No prayers. No rites. Just silence. We were told never to speak of her again. A month later, the king fell ill. 1 year later, he died. The queen wept loudly during the funeral. But some of us saw her face. Dry eyes. Tight jaw. She thought she'd won. But 3 years after that, something happened. During the festival of the New Yam, a woman arrived at the palace gates. Covered in dust. Wearing a plain wrapper. Hair low, like a widow. But her eyes, those sharp eyes, had not changed. It was Adesewa. The guards didn't know what to do. Some ran. Some crossed themselves. I stood there, frozen. She looked at me and smiled. "You remember," she said. I nodded. She walked through the palace like she never left. People stared like they were seeing a ghost. But she wasn't pale. She wasn't limping. She wasn't angry. She was calm. Confident. Alive. She didn't ask to speak to the queen. She asked to speak to the elders. And when they gathered, she told her story. She said the queen had lied. That she was innocent. That she had been left for dead in the forest, but an old woman saved her. A healer. A forgotten priestess of the land. The priestess told her, if you are truly innocent, the gods will show it. So she waited. Learned. Grew. And now she was back to claim justice. Not with war. Not with fire. But with truth. The elders were shaken. They did a secret investigation. First they found an old servant who confessed he helped tie her hands. The queen's brother had bribed him. Then another elder came forward, saying he had always doubted the story. The people started whispering again. But this time, they whispered her name with respect. 3 weeks later, the council removed the queen. Said she had dishonored the throne with lies and wickedness. Her brother was banished. And Adesewa, she didn't leave. She stayed in the palace. When the new king was chosen, King Afolabi, the late king's son from another wife, he asked Adesewa to be queen. People shouted. She has no royal blood, they said. But the king said, blood means nothing if your heart is wicked. She was loyal, and she suffered for it. That day, I stood by the gates again and watched her climb the steps, not as a servant, not as a prisoner, but as Queen Adesewa. She never spoke of the forest again. Never mentioned the pain, the betrayal. But sometimes, when she passed under the Iroko tree in the palace garden, I saw her pause. Just for a second. Like she remembered. And I remembered too.